This conference will now be recorded.
Of the open meeting law, GLC 38 SS20 for your reference. Never mind, that's in quotes. This meeting will need to be completed by 6:50 so that the MRPC, GIS, and IT director can close the meeting conducted by GoToMeeting and open the commission's meeting so that we can start our second meeting tonight by 7 p.m. It appears there is a total of, I should have a number here, but I really can't see. I think there's 7 people attending, and 7 are participating via video. And, well, actually, I'm not sure how many by video and by phone. So let's start the meeting. Jason, would you unmute all participants so that we can complete a roll call? I also have to note that all votes taken during this remote meeting must be by roll call. Jason, can you take over from here, or Glenn? Because my computer's froze up.
Yeah, sorry. I had to unmute myself. My apologies to all. So we basically have 6 people out of 7. It's quicker to say that Maribel is the only one who's not called or videoed in, if I am correct. I believe I am. So we have a quorum. And then after that, basically the one agenda item is a review of executive director. So this is the first meeting because we all promised that we get together in March of 2020, and we would have an executive committee meeting to start the process. For my review, I sent out a couple of documents today, a couple of Word documents. One, I think, was the review evaluation form that we use for all directors and the executive director. I didn't send out the blank form that Alan sent to us last summer of the edited hospital administrators form to us. I hated to assume anything, but I assumed you all had that. If you need a blank, I can send that out if we're going to use that. And I also sent, because about a month or so ago, Guy put on my radar screen that we needed to have this meeting. I think it was after the February meeting. We chatted, and I said, yeah, you're right. I said, what I'd like to do, and the reason you got something from Janet Pierce at CMRPC, that other Word document in my email today, was I was curious how the other RPAs and COGs reviewed their executive directors. And unfortunately, not everybody got back to me. 3 out of the 12 I asked did get back to me. One said it was just all oral. I don't even know if they documented it. Another one was promised to send me something, but she wasn't able to do so. I'm going to follow up with her. That was Kimberly down at Pioneer Valley. And the third one is Janet Pierce. She said, and if you see that document, that it is basically about 6 or 8 or 7 or 8 variables or categories, if you will. And she sits down with the executive committee and they talk about roles. Of the 3 that responded generally by the email that I sent out about a month ago, it was qualitative, not quantitative. So I just want to give you data and then say, okay, folks, however you want to do this, please let me know and I'll follow those parameters.
Yeah, Laura, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, there may be some backup because I'm hearing the computer as well as
I suggest that people could use the mute. That might help.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Laura.
I can hear you, Laura.
Okay. All right. So yes, I saw the information that came today. Thank you, Glenn, for sending that out. I did not see the Janice Pierce one. I think it's, I'm understanding this now. I didn't understand it before today, but that this would be like our first quarter meeting, and that it would start the process for the year rather than trying to back step like before, or not have it at all. I appreciate your outreach to the other regional planning commissions, because that will be very helpful. Doesn't mean we have to do the same thing or do nothing as they do, but it will be interesting to see what the others are. And if I may suggest, and I know we'll probably continue with discussion, but if I may suggest that hopefully within this next month, you get more input and can send that along to us, and we can have this as a pre-board meeting for the next month. Okay, so thank you.
I'm just taking notes. If you see the top of my bald head, I'm writing. Okay, folks?
Okay, could I ask a question of Laura? So you just want to postpone this till next month? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying to postpone. I'm just saying that I feel that it'll be necessary for us to see more information rather than what we just got today. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that are you looking to make a decision and a vote today?
My feeling is we're trying to get an idea of what direction we're going. We used, like Glenn referred to, that sheet that I came up with last year. And my guess is, the question is, do we want to modify that, go to something else, or whatever, so we can start the process of the actual evaluation fairly soon.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I did appreciate what you sent out last year, and I believe I used that. It was so long ago now, and as you all know, my son was sick, and I was doing that evaluation during that time. I believe I sent what I wrote, everything I wrote, out to Guy, and couldn't find it today to review. But I'm thinking that I used your form versus the one that Glenn had given us. But I can't say because I honestly don't remember.
Laura, I do have that. I know I saw it today when I was going through my files. So I will try and send it out to you tomorrow.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'm getting old too, you know. I got to write everything down, but if it's not in front of me, I don't remember what I wrote down.
I can understand completely, Laura.
Glenn, did you know if you have more forms coming from other?
I don't believe I'll have other forms coming. I think I may have one, but realistically right now, I'm going to ask Kimberly. Kimberly Anderson took over for Tim Brennan at Pioneer Valley Planning Commission. It was Kim that had responded. I'll send you something, Glenn. I didn't get it. I will email her tonight and see if she can respond. The EDs of the RPAs and COGs are working 12, 14-hour days, primarily on managing all the assets of human resources, getting assistance from IT. So I'll see if I can get something from her. And if I have a whole month, then hopefully I'll get something from Kim. But I have no guarantee because of everything that's going on with the worldwide pandemic.
Sure, Laura.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think I just I wrote understood that we're in different times. And again, I was happy with the form that we were using last fall. And I don't see any reason why we can't go forward with that. And still, if we get other assistance from other planning commissions, that doesn't mean that we can't steal something from one from here, one from there, or if that's what we like. But I know myself, I've been on this board off and on for a number of years, and this is the first time we've gone through the process. So I would appreciate any help that we can get from any other commission. Those are my thoughts.
Yes, I think the basic form that Alan put wasn't bad, and I think it just needs some tweaking, and maybe, as you alluded to, Laura, that information from other RPA might help us tweaking it.
If I may, I just want to say, the form that Alan found is really fine. Really, it's not an issue for me. It really isn't. The reality, though, is it came from one source of hospital administrators, and I'm trying to find something that's more relevant, more germane. A thought just popped into my head that I can reach out to the NARC and NATO, NARC like you think of NARC, but National Association of Regional Councils, and NATO, National Association of Development Organizations, and see if they have any forms or a simple policy and how they do a review, whether it's qualitative, quantitative, or both. So I'll try to find a contact for each of those tonight, in addition to re-emailing Kimberly down at Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and see what I can get.
Yeah, could I mention something here? I went through and compared the form we used last year with the one from CMRPC, just at the heading level. And it looked like they were pretty similar. They left out from the previous form that we used, they left out strategic development and customer satisfaction. And the one that wasn't on the old form that CMRPC had on their form was programming and funding. So they were pretty close, couple omissions either side. So it seems to me we could start with that old form. Glenn, if you could bring in some newer ones, we could edit that form to make it more relevant to a regional planning agency. But it wouldn't destroy the form if we had already done work on it. The information we had put down would still be relevant.
That's a good plan. Is that something that you would put together, Glenn, and get out to us fairly quickly?
I can get it out to you as soon as humanly possible, given the current situation that we're working under. Yeah, absolutely. I can't promise tomorrow because I have another series of 3 or 4 conference calls and staff meetings and webinars, and that's all of our lives right now. Not complaining, it's just
right.
reality.
I don't mean tomorrow. I mean in the next couple of weeks, maybe.
Well, I'd like to do it by tomorrow or Monday because we all have this much going on right now between friends and family and colleagues and stuff. And, if the normal work level is here, moderate, it's here. And let me just try to, right now it's what's on the top of the pile I got to do first and get done. So let me just try to attack that. And the only thing that would slow me down is if I get anything from NARC or NATO, or if I don't get anything from NARC or NATO or Kimberly down in Pioneer Valley Planning Commission. I want to say thanks, Alan. That's a great point about thanks for comparing, contrasting. It's nice to see that the old hospital administrative form and then the CMRPC document that was in my email today are fairly close. And I like the idea about the strategic planning and the client customer satisfaction. So I think we can merge those things, and that's not an issue. I think.
Bill just put on the chat, there is virtue in keeping last year's form in place in that we can compare the evaluation year on year. So I think what I was trying to say was let's start with last year's form, start with the evaluation, and we can modify it if we need to once we see the other information.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I agree.
Sounds good to me.
That's the form
Yeah,
that just came in the email.
I hate to say it, but we're at a time now where we're going to have to wrap this meeting. So I think Alan's put a plan out there. Quinn can get us the information, and then next meeting we'll have that information and intertwine it with what we have.
Sounds like we have a plan. I think that's what you're all saying. Alan, so sorry. Go ahead.
I was just asking if everybody was more or less in agreement with that. Any objections?
I agree, guys.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, nobody's objecting, so that's good.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and please say your name when you make the motion.
Roger, I second that.
Okay. This will be by roll call. Vote to Roger,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes,
Laura,
Yes.
and I don't have my computer, so I don't see who else is here. If you could call them out, Jason.
John Tlepsiak, yes.
Phil Duffy,
Okay,
yes.
Guy, yes.
Yes.
Phil Duffy,
That'll be
yes.
enough. Meeting adjourned at 6:54. I'm hanging up.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get my damn computer going.
good luck.
We're having a
Right,
prank
done.
on the side.
Got a little hair as it is.
Laura, can you hear me? Laura?
No, she's left she's hung up her phone, Jason.
Because I sent her the new information. Does anybody have her phone number to call her? I sent the new information for the new call because we're all getting off of this call and getting on another one.
Yeah, we gotta go to another meeting, yeah.